Sorry. And let me present my screen and hide. Okay. Hello, everyone. So, as today it will be a revision class. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go from the beginning, from day one. Okay. From day one. Please let me know. You can raise your hand or you can ask at any point of time. Please let me know if you have any queries, any issues in any of the documents. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So downloads. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So I'll go with the session one. So this this session 1.1 is all about what is an API, and we have provided a couple of examples like what API is all about, and how, where, and how we use it. And this is about API documentation. And I highlighted that in green in color because that is the most important part, most important resource, I can say, which is required when we perform API testing. And then we checked how do APIs work and what exactly is an API. Like it is a bridge, and I've given an example over here as well, and also a diagram where how exactly an API, where exactly API comes into picture. And I also has provided types of APIs. And in that, I have highlighted one of the statement like all web services are APIs, but not all APIs are web services. Okay. Then I described about API protocols, where in this course we will be discussing about SOAP and REST APIs and not the other ones. And um, we also got to know that this GraphQL is getting popular these days. So it might come into picture real soon when you will be working on API testing in future, but not as of now. Now mostly we are relying on REST APIs. So it's not much used in. So REST is more popular now. Then we have a difference between REST and SOAP API. Okay, and I have also given an example of what exactly a REST API is all about, and and couple of links where you can learn more about APIs, like what exactly is an API and all those things, and where exactly the API comes in the layer. I mean the database layer, or where exactly it comes into picture. So that is defined over here. Okay. And then we talked about little about Postman tool. I can say application tool, anything. And then what all testing we can perform on Postman related to APIs. So this was all about day one. So any questions? Okay. Okay. Any questions on day one document? If you have gone through it, there's no practical. It's all about theory. Like, so any questions on day one documentation?
Uh, yes, please.
Yes, Nadia.
Yeah, I just want to ask you, what does this mean? Contract testing is it like I've never heard this term before.
Okay, contract testing. I think okay, this one, right? This one.
Yeah,
So
yeah, the last one.
yeah,
Yeah,
this
the
is
last one.
mostly like what they say. Contract testing is mostly done by the developers. And what exactly the contract testing is like, if a documentation is given to you, let's say any documentation, API documentation is given to you, and
Hmm.
uh, at the very beginning, I mean unit testing, like at the very beginning, when you develop it when the requirement comes in and the developers are developing the APIs. Still, it's not under the testing phase, not at all under the testing phase. It's still under design. They are developing it. At that point of time, they will perform two types of testing, especially for APIs. One is unit testing. Unit testing is all about code, code, code. Okay, they write n number of codes. Like if an API, let's say if an API is helping in booking a flight ticket, okay, booking a flight ticket, that is the only job that
Mhm,
particular API is doing. Okay, what
mhm,
unit
mhm,
testing does is they will write a code for that particular, only for that particular job. They will write a lengthy code where they will run that particular code in any of the IDE that they are using. It might be Eclipse, it might be Visual Studio Code, or it might be Visual Studio, or it might be any other IDE which they are using, and they will check
mhm.
if the function, if that job is completed successfully only with the code, only with the code. They are not into tool yet. They are not into tool. They are not into command line tool. Nothing, nothing. Only in the code when they are writing the code. Like I can show you one thing. Uh, um, let's say let's go with this only. Okay, so here I am not using any tool. I'm running this the complete in order to test. Okay, here what I'm testing here is I'm just testing if I can navigate to this page. I mean, if I can access this page using some lines of code, some random lines of code, can I access this page? So in the same way, unit test is also similar to that. I mean, where they will be writing code in order to check that job, that booking, flight ticket booking is successfully working or not. After that unit testing is performed, then they will come to tool. Either they will come to Postman tool, or they might use curl request, which we have discussed, where they will be testing it on the command line tool. Here in the command line, here they will be testing those requests, the ones that they have developed it. It might be get request, or it might be post request, anything they will be testing over here in the command line, and they haven't come to any tool yet. So this is all about contract. I mean, the contract which was given to them, that if that contract is working fine as per their development, as per the requirement, the development they have done, the developers have done, is that working same. I mean, there are no errors, nothing. That is checked in the contract testing. We will come to that part as well. I have defined that too. Okay, we'll keep
Yeah.
this contract testing over here. Now coming
Okay,
to this,
thank you.
you're welcome. Coming to the
Mhm.
second part. Okay, second part. Yeah, I'll keep that contract testing. Let me do one thing. Notepad, contract testing. Okay. Okay. Now coming to second day, we discussed more about types of APIs.
Hello,
Uh,
Ashish.
yeah,
Hello, Ashish.
yes,
Sorry to interrupt you. I
it's
have
okay.
one question.
Uh,
So, can you explain bit about stateless and stateful API's behavior?
stateless is like when you request for something. Okay, when you
Okay.
request an API, or when you request a server. Let's say I want to go to google.com. Okay, and when it returns, when you request and when it returns back the response, it will not keep the data in the server. I mean, server is cleaned out, so there is no
Okay.
state. Like if you're requesting something, or if you're adding something, like I can say, you ordered something on Flipkart. Okay, and or Amazon, anything, yeah? And that information is stored, like past orders, all those orders are stored, right? I mean, whatever you have ordered in Flipkart or Amazon, those orders will be, when you see recent orders, those orders are stored, right? When you
Yes.
go, but when Stateless is like you don't see that information at all. Once you get the response, it's completely clear. It will be free. It will be completely free. You need again you need to ask again in order to get that information. So it's like what is it? It's keeping clean. I mean, it doesn't store anything. It doesn't at all store anything. That is called
Okay.
stateless. Okay. Stateful is like, yeah, which if it stores something, then that is called stateful. And if it doesn't store anything, then it calls stateless. And I'll definitely come with more examples, more I mean real world examples regarding that. I'll keep that too.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you.
Stateful and stateless, right?
Yes.
Stateless. Yeah, Karthik. Sorry. Uh, both have raised their hands. Uh, yeah, Karthik.
Ashish,
Huh.
Ashish, can we see any document API documentation format on that? So
Which one? Sorry.
API documentation.
Yeah, we'll come to that too. We'll be coming to that too. Yeah, we'll be coming to
Okay.
that. Uh, yeah, coming to types of APIs. On second day, we discussed more about types of APIs and what are public APIs and what are partner APIs, what are internal or private APIs and composite APIs. So data or database APIs. So mostly we will be working on these open public APIs or partner APIs or internal private APIs and composite APIs. Uh, Database APIs, operating system APIs and remote APIs. I'm pretty sure I never came across testing these APIs. And these are maybe if you come across them, then you can test them through on Postman. But it's very rare. It's very rare that you test them. And then we came across, we spoke about system testing in API testing. So this was explained like what exactly system testing is all about in when it relates to API testing. So which has end-to-end testing, integration with components, data flow validation, security, performance, everything included is called system testing. And there's an example as well. And then we have how exactly the data is sent and received. So that is also explained on day two. Uh, and okay, so why do we use HTTPS rather than HTTP? So yeah, there's a note for it. And why does it matter? It's all about security. Then what is the difference between SOAP APIs and REST APIs? With more information on that. And what is about APIs and web services versus web services? More information on APIs and web services. Okay. And what is API testing? So yeah, I mean little more about what is API testing. And you can go to this link. You can go to this links in order to understand. This is the SOAP structure. This is SOAP services where you can see how exactly the SOAP API looks. And this is about API documentation where you can read more about what is API testing. So these are the links where you can get more information. Or actually, you can ignore this because we haven't touched SOAP APIs testing yet. But you can go to this documentation. Go to this documentation where you can find more information about what exactly an API testing is and other things as well. You will find more information over here. So any questions? Any questions on session 2 documentation? Okay, and I have in here. Okay, there's one documentation, right? Let me put documentation as well. Okay, now coming to I think Akash, I haven't covered about I did cover about Stateless, but not stateful. The differences I haven't covered. I have to cover that. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Now, coming to HTTP request and response. In request, we have 4 sections, and the main sections which we need to look into. And in response, we need to look into 2 main sections. One being URL and parameters, and other being headers and body. And in response, it's header and body. Okay. So we know what is request URL. Okay, there's an example here. Okay, here we have request URL and base URI protocol. Every information is over here, and this is without parameters. So then we have with parameters, where after question mark we have key and value, uh, and the same goes for this. We haven't covered this thing, XML thing. This is related to SOAP services, so you can ignore it as of now. And I remember Akash asking about headers. Did we spoke about headers for HTTP request and response? So it was in the third documentation, but we haven't added any manual headers yet because we haven't come to authorization yet. So we haven't added any manual headers yet. But this is all about HTTP request and response headers and body. So here we have common headers, and like these are not mandate, just to be make sure that these are not mandated. Every API request and every API response should have these this headers. No, it is not like that. They might be and they might not be. Okay. So, and how exactly, I'll come to that too. Okay, we'll have to discuss about this in the, okay. And we discussed about cache and cookies. Okay, so now we'll go to Postman. Where was it? In here, okay. Now, where exactly I can find the request URL in here? Sorry. Where exactly can I find the request URL in here? I mean, the one at the very top. In request, we have request URL. So where exactly can I find request URL here? If anyone has the document opened, please open the third day's document, and please let me know where exactly can I find the request URL in here. Hello?
Yes, is it up near get? Is that?
Correct. This is a request URL,
Mm.
right? Now we need to see parameters. Okay, let me see if I can find. No, this is also not a parameter. Now where exactly can I find the request parameters?
It is mirrored to our view
Params.
parameters.
I
mean, after question mark.
Yes. So this is a parameters. Okay. After the question mark, whatever the key and the value is present, it is displayed in the params tab. Now, where exactly can I find the request headers?
It's
Here,
near authorization.
Authorize is mirrored to authorize.
Yes.
Mhm.
And what exactly we can do here? I mean, what exactly can we do here? Like, can we hide the headers?
Yes, we go to this hide auto
Yes.
generated. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So we can hide these headers and we can view these headers. Okay, so then we have request headers is done. Now, where can we find request body? Can we have request body in the get request or in the post request?
Some data I mean, if I
There is no request body for get HTTP request.
Sorry. Sorry. Once again, please. Where exactly can we find the post? Where exactly can we find the body? Is it in the mostly it is found in get request or post request?
in
Post
post.
request.
Post and patch, I think.
Yes, amazing. Post patch put. Yes, you're right, Nadia. So is it clear till here? Like where exactly we can find request URL, parameters, headers, and body?
Yes.
Okay, amazing.
Yes.
Now coming to response headers and body. Okay, let me run this. Okay, let me run this. Sent. So where exactly I can find the response headers?
So beside cookies option we found in the response.
Amazing. And can we hide these headers? Do we have that option?
No.
No.
Amazing. And okay, so headers is done. And you can see that, if you come scroll down. Okay, we have response common headers. Okay, these are the 5 common headers, but they might be missing here. Okay, we might not see all the headers over here. It's just common, but not mandate. So do not worry about that, because these headers and the request headers are all documented. Everything will be documented when it is getting developed by the developers. All this documented and given to the developers, so need not to worry if something is missing. It's okay, it's completely fine. Not all headers are mandate. Okay, so now where exactly can I find the response body?
It's the first tab in the response.
Body.
Yes. Okay, amazing. So we are done with this as well. And okay, response already is done. That is okay. And what else? Cache and cookies. Okay, this is all about, when if you want to run this. I mean, if you want to run this request again, it will take less time. I mean, that is where. I mean, if there is any data that is stored, that is already stored, then that helps the request to run in a more less time. Either I can say request or a collection. It can be run in a less time. So that is where cache comes into picture, and cookies as well. Cookies also, if are any cookies like credentials and all those things, that will be stored. I mean, we need not to worry much about cache and cookies. It's just more information. If we when we are testing something, these things help in order to run the request in a more faster way. And that is what I think cache and cookies does. um, Apart from that, nothing much to discuss about. Yes, Nadia.
Yes, I just want to ask you how we use this cache and cookies like in a real project. Like I
Yeah,
know like the definition is clear, but how to use it like in
we will
practice?
we will be not using cache and cookies. We will be not
Uh-huh.
using at all. We will be not touching this cookies part, and
Mm.
like more, we will be not using them at all. Those are all those are all mostly for the developers. Mostly for the developers. It's very
Okay.
very rare that we might work on cookies. Very, I mean, if it is really documented, like we need to check the cookies. Like if I say, okay, respect, and then here I go to google.com. Okay, and come to, I think, application. In application, when you come to application tab, okay, let me come from the beginning again. Okay, let me close this. Okay, I did it right. I did a right click, went to inspect, where it opened the dev tools. Okay, now I have navigated to google.com. Okay, when I've navigated to google.com, there's an application tab in the what to say in the dev tools. Once you click over there, you will have cookies information here and the cache storage information as well here. Okay, if you click on this, okay, I think, yeah, click on this, you will find all the cookies in here. Okay, all these cookies. I mean, it's really, it's very rare that you might be asked to compare or check if all the cookies are, if all the cookies are getting uh, displayed over here, if all the cookies are getting displayed over here, but it's very rare that you will be asked on this. It We don't test cache and cookies. It's only helpful to run the request and the response successfully and in the faster way. It's just an information that is good to know. That is all I can say. It's just information that is good to know, but we will be not working or we will be not testing much on this. Okay, see, if you just read this, caching headers play an important role in reducing load on the server and improving response times. So that is all it does. That is all. I mean,
Mhm.
it's just, if you are running this request, let's say if you are running this request, now it took 625 milliseconds, I think milliseconds. Now when you run it again, oh, it increased. I think it increased, but it should reduce. When you're running, it should see, it reduced. Now it reduced. So these cache and cookies, these will store the information. Next time when, like, how can I say, uh, how can I say it? Okay, cache and cookies, how can I say it? Okay, you have a, you have a, hmm, how can I say in a real world example? Like, let's say, okay, you're making something, preparing some sandwich. Okay, you're preparing sandwich. Okay, like, first time when you're preparing sandwich, you might not have all the ingredients with you. Okay, you might walk into the store and get bread and lettuce and tomatoes and whatnot, everything, butter and everything. Okay, so next time, and you might get it in a huge quantity and keep it at your place, keep it at your home. So next time when you're, so here the response time, I mean, in order to create a request and a response, you're walking into the store, which is taking real long time, and you're getting the ingredients, like you're finding all these ingredients in every lane of that store, like it might be real long time. So when you're preparing your sandwich, then it might take, okay, you're coming back home, then again you're preparing sandwich, so all this process takes real long time, real big time. But next time when you're preparing the same sandwich at your home, then all these ingredients are present at your home, and they are present, and you can easily take them. So the request and response time has been decreased a lot. Let's say you're preparing a sandwich, and the third time when you're preparing a sandwich, let's say the edges should be cut off. Okay, edges should be cut off. No one likes edges, so they might ask you, okay, please make sure next time when you prepare a sandwich, the edges should be taken off. So what you will do is, when you're preparing the sandwich as a second in the second instance, second time, you might cut off all the edges of all the bread pieces. And in tomatoes, they might ask you to remove the seeds. So when you're preparing the second time sandwich, so you might remove all the tomato seeds. I mean, yeah, I think it will spoil if you cut the tomatoes. Okay, still, okay. So these things, when you're doing in advance, when you're storing things in advance, these things will make your sandwich time, preparing sandwich time less. It will be going less all the time. So that is all. This cache and cookies, it will store information, it will store the data, that you need for the next time when you run the response. And there is also possibility that these cookies and cache can be cleared out, can be, I mean, when you're, I have opened this Postman and I'm running this response. Okay, now it's all good. Now it's all good. It's running. It's running. It's all good. But when I close this Postman tool, close this Postman tool, all the cache cookies which is stored, the data which is stored to run this particular response is vanished. We have that settings also. Then once again, when you're running the opening Postman and running the thing, it might take longer time because it has to retrieve all the cache and cookies. It's so it is all about what I say. It is all about reducing the time, and mostly it's reducing the time and not getting the information. In order to get the information, we not need not to wait for much longer times. So that is all about cache and cookies. Um,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. And
Sorry, just one question. So
uh,
cookies, we see it here in Postman, but cache we do not see it. Yes, it's not.
cache, no, we cannot see. Yeah, we cannot see cache. We cannot
Okay.
see cache.
Yeah. Thank you.
We don't have we don't have that tab actually, cache tab. I'm not sure why exactly they haven't have the cache tab, but yeah, I'll see if I can find any answer for that.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome. And then coming to the fourth day. Okay. Same. Why exactly we have continued with why exactly request and response headers are important. I mean, this is some real world examples like why exactly headers are important when it comes to request and response. And we talked about request headers, more detail about request headers, what the client sends. And then we spoke about response headers, what the server sends back. So this is all about request and response headers with couple of examples, and also why are headers important. More detailed information on this for security, performance, and all those debugging things. Okay, so and then okay, there you go. We have a real world example. See, this is a temporary storage, and this is cookies are small pieces of data that websites store on your device to remember information about you. So this is all about. I mean, nothing. We will be not testing much on this. It's just it's only the request and response. It's only the APIs when we run. It's especially for them to make sure that we get the response in a quicker way. Nothing we will be not testing, neither in manual testing, nor in automation testing, nor in data driven testing, nor in any command tool testing. We will not be testing any cache or cookies. I have not come across any testing related to cache and cookies. It's all to make sure that the information is sent and it is responded quickly. That is all. And then we came across this, if the fetch xhr and these things which we discussed about, like why exactly we do fetch xhr. I can show you that too. Mm, exactly, network. And here we will be having API calls. These are the API calls which we have under fetch xhr tab. But if we want to go for all, then this is all the calls which we have. But mostly the API calls we can find under fetch xhr tab. So that is what was discussed. And in some websites, the fetch xhr tab, this tab, oh sorry, this tab was empty. So why exactly it is empty? Like I can show you one website. Let me clear this out and go to automation step by step. If you can see here, the fetch xhr tab is completely clean. There's none displayed over here. So there was a question asked like why exactly this is clean and no information is displayed. So for that, there were some some information like some reasons. There are some reasons why exactly those are not displayed, like they can be encrypted. And yeah, it's all about security, I can say. Or so for that reason, uh, maybe hidden under the and can be found under other tabs. So this is what about fetch xhr network calls. And And this is difference between all and fetch etc, like what we can find under all related to API calls, and what we can find under fetch etc related to API calls. So under all we find images, CSS files, JavaScript files, fonts, media, everything. What not the website, in order to load the website, everything is displayed under all tab. But when it comes to fetch etc tab, only the API calls filters out only API requests that helps in order to load the website. So that is the difference between fetch, etc, and all tabs under the DevTools. And then we came across HTTP response codes. We have 5 response codes, 5 series. I can say 5 series: 100, 200, 300, 400, and 500. We will be not seeing this 100 series ever, ever, ever in our testing. We will be not seeing this 100 series. We will be coming across 200, 300, 400, and 500 series only. And there are important response codes which you might come across while you're testing. And this is a link where you can, if you want more information about response codes, you can go to this particular link and then read about the response codes and then code reasons. And then we have REST API architecture, like how exactly this REST API is uh, I can say defined or described or created. So this is the architecture. I mean, it's just good to know information. We will be not working on this. It's just good to know information. And then we have request methods, or we can also call them as verbs, where we will be mostly working on get, post, put, patch, and delete. These are the 5 request methods which we will be working while we are testing. So in this, okay, now in here, okay. So, oops, yeah, Akash. Yes. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, Akash. Yes, Akash.
What is the meaning of representational state transfer?
Representational state transfer.
Yes.
Okay, this one you're talking about REST
Yes.
representational state transfer. Okay. I'm really not sure. Really not sure about that. I think it is just an, I mean, how you say first, maybe it's an state transfer. I don't want to give any wrong information here. Uh, but I think it's an architecture which is defined in that way. Like for SOAP, you have simple object access protocol, where SOAP is as a simple object access protocol architecture. In the same way, I think REST is representation. I mean, it's representing some state, something. Okay, I'll definitely find an answer for that. You REST,
Okay.
right? REST.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, someone has an answer. Uh, it is one of the approach. Okay, Shastri is saying that it is one of the approach. It is one of the approach which, okay, what else he said? It is one of the approach about, sorry, Shastri. It's one of the approach to, it is one of the approach, maybe in order to access APIs, maybe that is one of the approach, but still, I'll definitely get back to you with the answer, and also stateful and stateless. So and okay. So we have in here. So in here, where exactly I can find this response code? Where is the response code? In Postman, where
In
exactly?
response, like is a test right side of the top 201 created.
Okay, yeah. So
Yes,
this
this
is
one.
a 201 is a response code, and this is a response information. 201 is code and information, and if when you hover on it, it says that new resource was created successfully. If the response code is different, Then if it is 404 or something like that, then I think 404, we might have some 404 things here. Where I can find it. The share post login successful. No, not here. Unsuccessful. Okay. Ha. We have a different response code here, and when we hover on it, it says the server could not understand the request, maybe a bad syntax. So this is one of the different response code which we might come across. So yeah, so this is where you can find the response codes and response informations. And when you hover on it, you will find this. And this is the size, response size, request size, and the response size, which you can see in here. And you can also see the response time, the time that it has taken. I mean, this response size and response time, this is mostly tested in the performance testing. Mostly it is tested in the performance testing. But if the response time is more than 100 milliseconds, if the response time is more than 100 milliseconds, please raise a bug. Our API should not exceed more than 100 milliseconds. Sorry, not 100, sorry, 1000 milliseconds. Okay. So make sure that it should be under 1000 milliseconds. Um, that is a that is not a thumb rule, but it's good to have 1000 milliseconds, not more than that, in order to get the response. Okay. So okay, yeah. So here we can find all the requests: get, post, put, patch, and delete. Hidden options, we don't use it. Get, post, put, patch, and delete. Now, okay, coming to the practical thing. Okay, where we have done. So okay, what all stateful. Okay, documentation and contract testing. Contract testing will be coming there. Documentation. Who asked about documentation? Karthik, you asked, right?
Yes, yes, I.
Okay. Now let me come to any one of the documentation thing. Training. I will just try it. Yes, Nadia.
Yes, I just want to ask before we go to documentation, I
Mm.
want to ask for this code, the status,
Mhm.
and also the space. I think it was something like space or something, and the time in Postman down in the response. How we can use this to see if the test pass or no? For example, you say that the load is more than thousands milliseconds. It's we have to write it as a bike. Yes, that is okay.
Yeah.
For the code, for the code, they say, for example, if you click on that thread, they say here what is the problem. Is it always like this? This is the, for example, maybe a bad syntax. So we have to write it's like this because it's a bad syntax as like explanation of the bike.
Yes.
I don't know exactly. And also this place, this kilogram, I think 1 kilogram.
Kilobytes.
This,
Yeah.
per kilobyte, yeah.
Kilobytes. Yeah. So this information, when we are performing, when we are doing performance testing, especially when we are doing performance testing, at that point of time, this information is provided by the client, by the customer. Like it should be of this size. Mostly, this request size and response size. Mostly, this is provided to the developers, and I mean, this is not much of interest when it comes to testing. But this is the part, this milliseconds part. This is where we come across in order to when we are performing performance testing. That let's say here what I did, this is the post request which I'm sending. Okay, this is only one request I'm sending. What happens in performance testing is, let's say there's one website, Facebook website. Okay, Facebook, let's go with Facebook. Okay, uh, what do you think? I mean, in an hour, how many people in world might be logging into Facebook? A rough estimate, a rough estimate.
Millions.
Millions, right? Okay,
Yeah,
let's say,
everyone.
let's say Facebook has been introduced very new. It hasn't been yet got popular. It hasn't been known by the people in the world. So only one person knows. Only one person knows. Okay, there is a website called Facebook where I can interact with people, connect with people, and make friends. Okay, so here what I'm doing is I'm the only person who knows about Facebook. So what I'm doing is I'm sending a request like I want to log into Facebook. I want to log into Facebook. So here while trying to log into Facebook, it took me 1.13 seconds. 1.13 seconds it took me for to log into Facebook. Now this is fine. This I mean here it should be it's more than 1,000. So I can raise a bar. But as I'm the only single person when it comes to performance testing, I'm the only single person who is trying to log into Facebook. So that is completely fine. Okay. But when millions of people are logging into Facebook at the same time, then that Facebook application should not crash. I mean, it should give response to everyone, stating that okay, you want to log in, come, you can log in. You want to log in, yes, come, you can log in. Okay, so it should not say, okay, see, my limit is only 100 people. So after 100, I will not able to log anyone in. You should wait until these 100 people log out. That is not the case, right? N number of people are logging in and n number of people are able to access Facebook. So performance testing is all about that. I mean, when you're logging, multiple people are logging into Facebook, the website should behave in the same way. It should not crash. It should not slow down. It should not behave indifferently. Like when you, I'm pretty not sure. Facebook, I think request sent. Yeah, I forgot about Facebook. Like they might be like something. Yeah, there are some options. When you click on like, then you should not be waiting for 15-20 minutes to get that like button highlighted. So this all comes under performance testing. When it comes to single testing, single user testing, then this I mean now here one 1.13 seconds is about like 1130 milliseconds. So it should not increase. I mean, this should not be the thing. um, I should all I say it should always be 1,000 milliseconds should be the target of the response, not more than that, for a single user. But performance testing is completely different. But when you're running this request in for a single person, then it should not see. This is fine. 336 milliseconds is fine, but not more than 1,000 milliseconds. Sorry, is it understood?
Yes.
No, if you have a
I-
question.
Yes, for this it was clear. I could understand it from the beginning, but like this one, 400, like 400 or like whatever we find in this
Yeah.
code, and you say this is not important. This space is not important. This kilobytes or something is not important.
Yeah.
Like, like my question is, if for example we get the response here, how we interpret these three things, like the code and this the time is okay, I understood it, and also you said the space, I think the capacity or this kilobytes,
Yeah.
this also you said it's not important. So we have the time and also the code. So when we get the code here, and you said that the code, it must be like it meets the requirements, like
Yeah.
if it's 400 in the requirements and 400 here,
Yes.
it means it's okay. But
Yeah.
for example, when you click on this bad request and they give you where is the problem,
Yeah.
you should like you should do something about that. They tell you, for example, here maybe is the bad syntax. You have to report it's because of bad syntax. It's we got this bug, or yeah, this was I
Okay.
didn't understand.
Okay. I understood. I got your point. Okay. Let's
Okay.
say you got this response. Okay. You have you have entered everything correctly. Whatever the documentation was provided to you, like it should be a post request, and it should be this is a URL you need to enter, and these are the headers you should have, and this is a body that you should have, and everything you have done correctly. Okay, there is no space between the URL, and there's no comma, which is no comma or with something. Everything is fine here. Okay, still when you're sending a request and you see 400 bad requests, okay, it says, okay, here it says error missing password. If in the documentation it says, okay, for this thing you should get this response as error missing password, then that is fine, you need not to raise anything, all good, all good. But if if something is missing here, if it says not missing password but missing xyz or something, or 400 bad requests, if you're still giving the proper request, every information, but still you're getting 400 bad requests, then you can raise it to the developer stating that, see, I have done all correctly, the request and everything is correct, everything is as per the documentation, but the response which I was expecting is not in this response. It's not coming in. So you can talk to the developer and stating that, can you please fix this? I will raise a bug, and can you please fix this?
Okay. Thank you. I got
Uh,
it.
is it clear? This
Yeah,
was
it's
your.
clear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
thank you.
it's
Yeah.
now I'll come to documentation where you will understand. Okay, I think what exactly is the documentation? I think. Okay. Okay. Here, let's say we go to some one demo APIs. Okay, we come to view complete documentation. Okay, here it shows, it gives all the information, like what exactly we need to get, what is the response we need to get. All this information is provided in the documentation, and uh, I can show you one more thing. Uh, okay, uh, this is my question. This would be my question. Um, Pet Store, jpetstore.com. Let's see. Pet Store, Pet Store. Okay. Now please let me know. Anyone can let me know. Okay, my here if let's say this is one of the API. Okay, this is one of the post API. This is a URL and username and password. Let me go in here. Close tabs. And come in here. Batch. Okay. Okay. Let's say this is a URL. Okay. This is a complete URL which I have pasted here. And we have username here and the password here. And we have given J2EE and J2EE. So it logged us in. Okay. Same way, we will be giving the information here, J2EE and J2EE, and we will click on send, which will say that, yes, you have logged in successfully. Now, can anyone tell, like, what other testing can we perform on this? Like, what is the other way which we can test? And it should show 200 successful. Okay, you have logged in, 200 successful. Now, what other testing can we perform over here?
With missing one parameter.
Okay, like I should not provide password, right?
Yes.
Okay,
And
right. And then
Without providing request body, we just hit on URL, hit on
correct.
API.
Yes. So
invalid data as well.
invalid data, yes. So let me come to one of the, I think, bookstore. Bookstore. Here while I was working on one of the API, this is where, see, this is all about how you test um, uh, manual testing. Let's go with the manual testing only. Here, what I did is I've given a username and also password. Okay, these are all what exactly is this? What exactly is this?
Parameterization
Variable.
variable.
Local variables.
Local variable, correct, right? So what I did in the first response, what I did is I've given the username and the password. And in the second thing, in body, I haven't given anything. It's all blank. In the third thing, what I did is I've given an invalid password. Okay. In the fourth, what I did is if the user is already added, then I have added another time. The same user I've added another time. And in the fifth thing, what I did is I've given an invalid username. I've given, so this is all about how exactly, how many scenarios you can create, in order to test. See, when it comes to documentation, I can show you some training. Mm, okay, I think this, yeah, or else, yeah, okay, this I have it, right? Okay, here, this is the PayPal. This is a PayPal website where if you go to docs, it gives you all the information here, like how exactly you can test this PayPal APIs. Okay, this is all the documentation you will find. So here they will be providing when you run this. Okay, let me add this folk collection. Okay, bookstore workspace. Now let me go to Fabric. We have all the, here we have all the requests. Okay, all the, not requests, sorry, all the endpoints. All the endpoints have been displayed over here. I mean rendered. Have been rendered. So this is what, now if you want to understand, if you want to know how exactly you can test all these requests, or how you can test them, so first go to the collection. Always click on the collection and click there. You will find view complete documentation, where you will find all the information, each and every bit of information, how you can test each and every response, each and every request, and what should be the request and what should be the response. Same way. Mhm. Okay, no worries, Karthik. Same way, when we go to, okay, now let me ask Phil. Okay, now guide me. Let me do one thing. How should I create a workspace? How should I create a workspace? How?
Clicking on new option.
Sorry.
Yeah, you go to workspace up,
Uh-huh.
Beside home tab, we have workspaces
Yeah.
option. Create
And
new
then click on
workspace.
create
and
workspace,
then
right?
create workspace.
Okay. And I can select blank workspace and click on next. Here I'll name it as some demo revision. Okay. And I'll keep it as public, and then I'll click on create. So this is how we create a workspace, right? Now let's say you are in one company, and you have been assigned as a API tester. Only your job profile is completely API testing, nothing else. Apart from that, nothing else. Okay. So you have been given a website. We have been given a website, and with that website, the documentation has been provided to you. What all APIs are used in that particular website. Okay. So first, what you're gonna do is if your company is using Postman tool, you'll create a workspace. Okay, you'll create a workspace. Then what should you do? Let's
Create a
say,
collection.
correct. Let's say we are testing this fake store API. This is what the company our client is. Our client is Fake Store API, and they asked us to test the APIs which are used in this Fake Store API. Okay, so we can name that collection as Fake Store API, right? We can name anything. We can name anything, right? So what I'm gonna do here is, so we blank collection. We click on this plus icon and blank collection, and then name this collection as Fake Store API, and then save it. Okay. Now, next thing, what you're gonna do? Okay, you have you got to know that this is a website which has all our APIs which we need to test. So we created a workspace. We created a collection. Next, what you will be doing?
We will create the folders for each type of request. Get
Okay,
post.
okay. Let's go ahead and create folders. Okay, get, and then we have another folder, post, and I'm just going ahead with delete. Um, and then we'll have delete. Oh, we'll add one more. Okay, we'll have oh, sorry. Delete. Folder, add folder, delete, and then one more we'll put as foot. Now what we're gonna do?
So we will add the URLs under a respective folder, but instead of keeping the domain URL, so we will keep one variable.
No, that is too far. That is too far. Where exactly can we find this information? I mean URLs or the endpoints. Where exactly can we find the information?
In the documentation.
Correct. Okay. So we have created a workspace. Then we created a collection. Then we created folders. We can create I mean any folder that we want. A patch also we can create. So we have created the, let's say all the requests are in that documentation. So just assumption, with assumption we have created all 4 or 5 folders. Now we will be going back to the documentation to see what exactly we need to test. What exactly we need to test. So for that we go to the docs. We have docs here. Here we can find how to use it. Okay, every bit of information is displayed over here. Every bit of information should be defined in the documentation. Should be defined in the documentation. Now, okay. Yeah, yes, Nadia. Yes.
Yes, sorry. What size you went to get the documentation?
This.
What's-
Okay, let me
Is it
close
like
this.
like special sites or any just fix
No,
or
no,
yeah.
just
Oh,
normal site, any site.
just for example. But if you
Yes.
are like working, they will give you like something like. Mm.
Uh, they will be, if you want to see how exactly a company provides to you, I can say, I mean, if you ever come across, let me show you one example here. I think I hope we can find one example. User story requirement API documentation. Okay, images. Let me go to images. Okay, I think this might help. Mm, okay, I don't think so. This is a use cases. Scan. Find this has, okay, this has the link with 50% yet URL report. This is more actually, it's everything into one place, so I can't show this. I'm trying to find a simple one where I can show. User story. This helps. No. Simple user story. Template. Single apps. Okay, I think it's if I go in here, docs online third party and this helps. No, you are also looking around. I hope over here I can find something. Okay. Okay, this second. So this is how a users. I mean, what exactly happens in companies? Mostly in some companies, you might not find the complete. I mean, every lengthy documentation where you have 100 pages and everything involved in it, every bit of information involved in it. What exactly business analyst does in the companies is they will be dividing, they will be cutting down the requirements, not request, the requirements into small parts, very small parts, and those small parts are created as user stories. um, how can I show you user stories? It's really hard because I don't have access to it. So, okay, let me try to explain. See, this part, only this part, the complete this, I can use snipping tool. I think I can use snipping tool. Okay, only this part. Okay, this part of a requirement will be in user story, where they will be letting you know what is a URL that you need to hit, and what is a response which you will be getting, and what should be the size of the size of the response. And if you want to provide body to the request, then they will be providing you the body information. Everything will be provided to you in the documentation. And
So
uh,
they will tell you if it's like this request is get or puts. Is you don't need to figure it out. It's they
no,
tell you, for example, this is
yes,
gets, you have to do get. Oh, okay.
yes,
So
we need not
everything
to,
is
yeah,
in the
yes,
Mm.
we need not to figure out anything. We need not to work hard on like what exactly, or we not need to research on what exactly that request is all about, or what exactly information that we need to provide. Everything should be provided, and clean documentation should be provided to especially developers and testers. Developers should also get the clean documentation. That is the job of business analyst.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
it
Yeah. This is
Ashish,
yeah.
Ashish, in my Jira ticket, I have one API ticket. Can I show that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. If it is not any copyright issues, then yeah, you can.
No, no, no.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I will share in WhatsApp group. That is good.
that is completely fine. Huh. Yeah, that is completely fine. Thank you. So Nadia, you need not to figure out if it is a get request or a post request or a patch request or a delete request. Every that bit of information will be provided to you in the documentation, and you can. I mean, you need not to. Let's say you need not to figure out anything, and you can ask them at any point of time that I need a clean documentation in order to test properly. Okay, so that all information will be should be not will be should be provided by the business analyst. Should be. It's not will,
okay.
it should be. So whenever you are given a job of API testing, then the first thing that you need to do is um, ask for the documentation, right?
Mm.
Then
Mhm.
if they are using Postman tool, mostly I think now companies are converting to Postman. I mean accepting Postman tool. So open Postman, and what exactly you need to do?
Mhm.
Once you access Postman and once you have documentation, what exactly you need to do?
I think you have to start first with just making the collection and
Nah, before that,
and
before collection.
the workspace,
Correct.
the collection
Correct.
and folder,
Yes. Yes.
and then you
First,
yeah.
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. It's like this, and then we have to start to put the URL here. We
Yes.
take the URL. You take it from the documentation. Yes.
Correct. Correct. You take the
Yeah,
URL
okay.
from the documentation. The main thing, I mean, see, where exactly we excel, in API testing is we get the documentation. I mean, if we go to this fake store API, and if we go to docs, and if we see here, we have this get all products. Okay, okay. Before this, let's say there's nothing in the. Okay, in here there's come the important point. Okay, if there is nothing in the let's say we have a library. Okay, we have a library, and in library there are no books at all, no books at all. So first, what you will do in the library when there are no books at all in the library? What is the first job that we will be doing in the library?
We can ask the librarian to bring the books we need.
Correct, right? So what we are doing here, we are adding books to the library, right? We are adding
Yes.
books. We are adding
Yes.
books
Yes.
to the library so that we can retrieve those books, right?
Mm.
Okay. Now this. So what exactly the flow of manual testing or automation testing would be? First, if there is no information at all, here we have get all products. Okay, let me go to this get all products. What I'm gonna do here is I will be copying this, and where exactly demo revision, right? Okay, where exactly should I add this request? This one is a get all products. So where exactly should I add this request?
Under
Get.
get folder.
Perfect, perfect. So add request, and let's say demo one, and I name something over here, and then let's save, and hit send. Oh, why I'm getting 404 not found?
Codes.
Why I'm getting 404 not found?
Comma after products.
Correct. Correct. Okay. And okay, good. Now let's see. Okay, save. And let me hit some enter as well. Okay, this is working. But at times when you are when you're giving space now, so that in real documentation, when you're giving space, then it will not work. Some of the requests might not work. Not some of the requests will not work in real documentation things. So here we have we found these many products. Let's say there are no products at all. No products have been added at all. So, what is the first thing that we will be doing? We will be adding a product, right? If there are no, when we click on get all products, and there's a zero information. There's no information displayed over here. So, what is the first thing we will be doing? Checking in the
We go
documentation.
to dev tool.
Aha,
Fetch.
We will create a product in the. We will
correct.
send a post request.
See, Nadia, let's say
Mhm.
this is a library, okay? Products, let's say this products is a library, okay? And this library doesn't have any books. There are zero books here.
Okay.
There are 0 books. So what is the first thing? And we have, this is our documentation where we have get all products, get a single product, limit results, sort results, get all categories, get in category, and add new product, update a product, delete a product. So when we see that, when we click on, when we try to run this get all products thing, there is none rendered. So the first thing what we will do is, okay, as we do not have any books in the library, let me add one first. So first thing you will be doing is adding a new product. Adding a new product means you will add a book. You will add a book to the library. Okay, then you can retrieve, right? Then once you add a book, then only you can retrieve it from the librarian and you can read it and you can give it back to the librarian, right? If there are no
Yes.
books, where can you access any book or retrieve any book and read any book? So there are chances when you are, let's say, when you're testing at the first instance in your testing environment, you might find 0 results. You might find 0 results under get all products. It is not a bug. It is not at all a bug. It is stating that you haven't added any books yet, any products yet to your API request. So only thing is, first thing you need to do is, first you need to see if all the requests, all running okay. If like you should, the response still gives 200 okay, but they might not be any data because you haven't added any book. So once you add a book, then there might be information rendering over here. Is it understood till here?
Yes, Ashish.
Okay. So yeah, so 4th session is done. Now coming to the 5th session. Nadia, you can ask. That is not a problem. You can ask. I'll,
It's like for example, when you go to Postman and you see the response, how you know that is passed? It's like it must be 200 or it can be something else except 200. Like if in the requirements say, like you said before this, you know, it showed 400 and you said no, it should why it showed 400, it's not correct, there is something wrong. And then you found that is the comma, because of the comma this was in the URL.
yeah.
So
that will also be defined in the documentation. It will also be defined in the documentation.
So in the documentation, where we see this, like the code that is 200, where do you see it?
Okay, that
Or
I
it's
think
that you compare them, you know.
okay, I think this is the best website I can say.
Nice.
Yeah, this is the best website I can say. Here, do you see this? It shows the request and the response should be 200.
Yes, this is, yeah, I have
So
this in mind. Here is visible, but
huh.
in the other one it's not visible.
It's not visible. So what
Yeah,
did I
here
say? Yeah, what did I say? If something is missing, what should we do?
we go, when something is missing, we
Huh?
go to dev tool,
No, 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 no,
we
no,
go to add product.
no, 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 no. There's a person whom you need to approach.
The business analyst.
Correct.
Yes. So
Correct.
documentation. Yes.
Correct. Documentation. If the documentation is not clean, not clear, not up to the mark, go to business analyst. Question him that why did you miss this? I want this to be added. You can question him. There's nothing wrong in that. Okay, that is his job, and he has to add it. Everything. Okay, let me come to this. I think this is the best thing where I can define. I think where I have written somewhere. Okay. This all information should be provided in the documentation. So what all information, can you please read it out?
Yes, like base URL, endpoints, parameter, request method, request header, request body, request code, request response message.
Response code.
And response message. Yeah.
Yeah, and response header and response body as well, right?
I know, yes.
So if let's say this is missing, okay, let me highlight this in some, which color you want me to highlight this in? Any color is fine. Yeah,
Red.
okay. Red?
Oh,
Okay, let me go in
okay,
red.
it's more clear.
Yeah, let me go with this also in red in color. Okay, now let's say these two are missing. Okay, so what you will be doing is you will be questioning the sorry, not developer, I'm really sorry. Yeah. You will be questioning the business analyst why this information is missing in the documentation.
Yes, yes. But in the one that you showed before,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
for this, that it. How did you know? For example, like it was not here. It was not mentioned. You know that
Okay,
it's like it
how
should not be. Yeah, how you found it out? Is it like experts or I
nah,
don't know.
no, nothing like expert. I mean, yeah, I test a lot ABS, so yeah, it's an experience. It comes with an experience, and also, what I can say, when they say that, okay, this get all products, okay, this get all products. When we let me show output, okay, let me click on show output. So when I click on show output, this is the response which I need to get. Okay,
Okay.
this is a response which I need to get. But when I hit here, when I say comma here and save it and send it, am I getting the same response which I have seen here, which I'm seeing ID one,
No.
title, price, but here it is completely different, right? It's a
Yeah. Yeah.
HTML document. So which means there's something wrong. There is something wrong, right?
Okay.
So I got to know that, okay, here the comma is, we should not add comma. But for you, it might be really difficult to see where exactly you went wrong. First thing, you will be seeing this 404 not found. You might be going to console and you might be seeing, okay, where exactly I went wrong. But as once you practice on a regular basis, you'll get to know, okay, this is where I went wrong. Like I should have not added comma, or here I might be adding X, okay, API X over here. Then if I send, I think this will, okay, here it gives a different response. I mean, there's nothing. Why exactly there is nothing in the response? Because it is an invalid request URL. Invalid request URL. So I mean, yeah, to be honest, as much as you practice, you will get to know like where exactly you're going wrong. And
Yeah.
also here in the website, when you click on the show output, I mean, here it's hidden. I know that what should be the output. So I haven't clicked on the show output thing. But when you, from your end, click on show output and compare this output with your response in this here. Okay.
It must be the same.
Same. Yeah, almost similar. Huh? Similar. It must be similar. I mean, these
And
things. Sorry.
yeah,
So,
so, yeah, and you said also you must check console. How to compare them in console? This I also didn't know.
console. Okay, let me run this. I think I have cleared the console. Okay, let me clear it. How exactly you check in the console? Okay, let me run this. I've run this. I go to console and I'll open this in a different window. Here, expand this. And okay, where exactly response headers,
Yeah, it's
response body. Okay, okay, body is more than 10 KB and can only be viewed in editor. So this is a drawback in here. Like if it is more than 10 KB, then you cannot see in this window. You can see in the editor here itself. Okay, scroll down.
okay.
Okay, view in editor. Okay, click on this. This is where you can see it. So you can compare from the console as well.
So you must have the same thing in console and in the documentation that's show outputs,
Yes, yes.
and
And
it must be the same. And
yeah,
this
yes.
response, three
In
of them, they must be similar.
yeah, console, you will not be navigating to console until there is any error. Like I can say until there is any issue. Please do not go to console because it is really time taking in order to go with the console thing. just go with the response. Compare with the response. If you see that response and the show output over here is both are similar, then everyone happy. I mean, there's nothing wrong. But if you
Yeah.
see any error in here, if I say comma here, save it and then run this again. And if you see an error here, and if you don't see an expected result, then go to console and see where exactly you're missing, where exactly there's an issue. If you come to
Ashish,
this, huh?
hello, Ashish.
Yeah, yeah.
Why it gives 404 not found? It should give 400 bad request, right?
Might be it might have been documented in that way. It might have been designed in that way.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. This
But
404
ideally,
thing,
it should give 400, right?
yeah,
Bad
yeah.
request.
Bad requests, I think bad requests. Yeah, it might.
You're
Yeah.
providing a incorrect URL, right?
Yes, yes. So it is all about, I mean, the documentation, how exactly the documentation said to the developer, like if they are giving a wrong URL, then show it as 404 not found. So they have documented in, they have created in 404 not found. But yes, you are also right. Like if in a proper format, it might be 400 bad requests. It's all depends upon the documentation, and it all depends upon how the developer has designed it. So that is the reason I always stress, like, documentation is really important to read. We should understand the documentation, and we should make sure that the documentation is up to the mark and clean, and it's understood by everyone. BA, developer, and tester, all are very important in here, and everyone should be on the same path, that the documentation should be the same. Okay. Now, Nadia, is the query clear?
Yes, yes, thank you. So it's because this was very like blurry for me.
Okay.
If you know, if you compare it to manual testing, so you have like the actual results and the expected results.
Huh.
So now I know that response is the expected results.
Yes.
And how to know that if I report it as a bug or not is like I have to compare this with the
Documentation.
like and show this show out
Oh,
what we call
okay.
it. It
Huh.
is
Show output. Yeah, you're right.
the
You're right.
outputs also yeah.
Huh.
And if there is this is like a recap, and if there is any issue with the response, then we have to go to console and check in response header, yes, or response body, and we check.
Yes.
So, and I just one question before, you know, for API testing, we have like test cases and scenario like in, you know, like in manual testing, or I don't know how it works, like, or and how to report it, like if we write, like, for example, in the templates, these scenarios and these things.
To be honest, see, when we are doing API testing, we usually, I mean, it's been very rare I have written the API test cases. In either we used to use this Azure DevOps as our test management tool. Not only test management tool, everything for every DevOps we use Azure DevOps, which is created by Microsoft. Some use Excel, but mostly it is not recommend. I mean, it is not required to write test cases because everything is done under the Postman. If I show you this, where exactly I can show bookstore. Okay, here this is one of the test case. We're adding it. Adding is one of the test case, and this is one of the negative scenario, right? And this is another negative scenario. So here we can consider this as our test cases. We can consider this as our test cases. And if we find if we are still giving invalid password and still it is adding a user, then create a bug, give this screenshot and give as much as information as you can. So it is, I mean, I can say it's a time saving rather than writing test cases are important. If the company asks you to write test cases, then go for it. But I don't see any any use of test cases. Yeah, I it's very
So,
very minimum.
So you mean that they don't ask you to do it nowadays? They
Uh,
don't ask you to write test cases and
it depends. It,
scenarios.
it depends upon it depends upon company by company. If they say we need documentation of test cases and test scenarios and test cases, then yes, you might. And it's very. I mean, keep it very short. Keep it very short. If they are asking you to write test cases, keep it very short, or else you can just share this collection. Download, export this collection and share this collection with the team they are asking, and that's more than enough, I can say. That is why we have this option of sharing the collection, where we will be writing most of the scenarios, most of the test cases. I mean, uh, as in UI, like let's say if let me write, let me open this notepad, okay. So if I want to write a test case for this, okay, let's say only for the login page, I need to write a test case. Okay, I'll say navigate to URL, JPetStore URL. Okay, so what will be the actual and expected result? Actual result would be successfully navigated to expected URL, your expected website. Okay, and what would be the, this is sorry, this is actual, and the expected, and the actual result is yes, successfully navigated. Okay, navigated successfully. So this is this test step. This is a test step which we are using, and um, leave this aside. Successfully would not come here. Okay, navigated to expected website and then successfully navigated. So this is where we will be writing, and then we will be writing. Click in the username. Click in the username. Okay, username field and type username. So this is how you write test cases for when it comes to UI. But API, what would you write? I mean, you'll say open Postman. Okay, open Postman. Then select get request. Then type enter URL. Okay, enter URL or endpoint/endpoint. Then make sure we have headers. So this is a huge thing. I mean, you have to write each and everything which you're already performing on Postman, which you're already doing it on Postman. So which is really not required. Which is really not required.
Okay.
I say it's I mean it's to be honest, it's waste of time to write test cases for APIs.
Yes.
You can write, you can directly do it on the Postman thing, and you can share the collection. That's more than enough. Same goes with performance testing as well. Performance testing also, we don't actually write test cases. I can show you one thing. If it no, no, when it comes to performance testing, I'll show at that point of time. So this we do just go with the Postman collection thing and Postman flows, then it's more than enough. Share the collection. So then we
Yes.
have the documentation, API testing tools, API testing tools we have, and API documentation we done, and write the test cases. This is just, I mean, just to make sure, okay, if someone asks you to write test cases, then you can just go ahead with some of the test cases which you want to write. Do not go very deeply because it is already performed on the Postman. So is it, okay, till here, okay, we are done with the documentation and rest and stateful. Okay, representational. We need the what exactly it is. Okay, we need to know that. And contract testing. Okay, we have contract testing. So, is any question still here, or is it extending?
Thank you. It's clear. Yeah. Thank you.
It's
For me, it's clear. Thank you.
amazing. For everyone,
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, it's clear, Ashish.
okay,
Yes.
amazing. So,
Clear,
for
Ashish.
thank you. Now, okay, the main part. Okay, I'll tell this as tomorrow as well. I'll be extending this tomorrow as well. Um, okay, just a normal question. Uh, how exactly ChatGPT works? How exactly ChatGPT works? Can anyone answer?
Yeah, it works like that. The query which we put, it answer in his way. As human thinks, he thinks like in his own way. Suppose if we ask him, give me code of something that. Suppose we if we ask him give me the code of method overloading, in our brain we can imagine the concept in according to his way. The chat gpt can means things, and he can give the code,
Okay.
and
Okay.
we can do some changes according to that.
Okay, let me do one thing. Okay, let's come to the let's not talk about IT. Let's come to the normal real world things. Okay. Um. Okay. Now let's say what would I say about? Okay, I want to know. I want to know how many moons are present in uh, Jupiter. Okay, I want to know how many moons revolve under Jupiter. So, what will I do?
You can ask him how the question, the query.
Okay, how many moons revolve around uh, Jupiter, right?
I think you have written the spelling of.
Okay, sorry. Okay, around Jupiter. Okay, and I can hit enter, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God, 95. Okay. Uh, okay, so let's now coming to this thing. Okay, solar system PDF. Okay, okay, we have this PDF. Okay, it's loading. Let it load. Okay, now I want to in the solar system they might be defined about Jupiter as well, right? Jupiter might
Yeah,
be
because it is a
defined.
part of solar system.
Ha,
Yeah.
it's part of solar system. Now I'll not use Control F something. Control F. I think that is a shortcut for a PDF. I'll not use this Control F thing. I want to search for Jupiter information, like how many moons revolve under Jupiter. So what will I do? I have to see every page, right? I have to go around for every page, and I need to see where exactly Jupiter is defined, and how many moons are there. Any moons revolving under Jupiter? So we have Mercury, then we might Venus, then Earth comes into picture, then Jupiter. I think fourth is Jupiter, maybe fourth is Jupiter. Mars, okay, Mars. After that, Jupiter. Okay, okay, we came to Jupiter. So what is the time taken for me to search in this documentation when it compares to this? Um, is this less time?
Means you are asking on ChatGPT, you are searching you how much time you are.
Yeah. When it compared to searching on PDF, did it took less time to search on ChatGPT?
I think so, yes, and it depends on the results also, how the ChatGPT present your result, and it depends on the
Yes.
question also, or
Yes.
what question you are asking to ChatGPT.
Yes.
It
So
depends on prompt.
prompt,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah,
prompt
that's the
and
same thing.
question.
I'm not
Yeah.
getting that word. What we call that
Yeah.
prompt.
No, that is true. Actually, question is similar as prompt. It is same. It is almost similar, same. So let's say you have given a solar system book. Okay,
Mhm.
you have given a solar system book, and you have been asked to search for how many moons revolve under Jupiter. So you'll be turning on, you'll be going to the chapter of Jupiter, then you'll be searching where exactly the moons is it is displayed, and you will be giving an answer. But what ChatGPT, how exactly ChatGPT works is at the background, how exactly it works is ChatGPT is not only ChatGPT, not only Google Copilot, not only Google Gemini and Microsoft Copilot. This all in the background, every bit of information is loaded in that tool. I mean, on the background, they take information from everywhere. Okay, and the way you are asking the question, it will filter. it will filter. I mean, there is a Venn diagram which it uses. It goes in that particular path and it retrieves the information which you are asking for. Why exactly I'm telling this? Because see, earlier it was really difficult for us. It was really difficult for us to know anything. I mean, it took days or months or hours in order to research on anything. But now I request you all to use ChatGPT if you don't know something. Okay, let's say now coming to IT. Okay, now I want to know what is Java. Okay, any jargon. Okay, let me go with a framework. Okay, what is framework? Okay, let me, because this is I have heard this a lot. What is framework? Pre-built structure, platform profiles. Okay, oh my god. Okay, I can see this. There are a lot of jargons in here. I mean, extensibility, libraries, guidance, predefined code, frameworks, components, reusable code. Let's say I'm very new to IT. Very new to IT. I don't know any of this stuff. I don't know what code means. I don't know what libraries means. I don't know what extensibility means. So how would I search? How would I use a prompt or a question to ChatGPT? Would I do that? Like if I want to know what exactly framework is all about, what would be the question that I will be, or what would be the prompt that I will be typing in here? Okay, let me try this. What is framework? Explain, explain as I am a, sorry. Explain in simple
Just
terms,
simple way.
or we can say layman terms.
Yes, lemon is
Okay,
correct. Okay.
yeah. So this is where it shows what exactly framework is all about. Now see, we are getting the example as well. Now let's say, okay, still I'm not able to understand. Still it doesn't make sense for me. We can go in one more way. What is framework? Okay, framework. Explain with the real world examples. Okay. Now it might make some sense, like where exactly framework is used. So here it says that it's a house blueprint. So similarly in software development, a framework gives you the blueprints and tools to build applications, saving time and effort. So now we'll come to testing. Okay. What is framework? Framework. In testing, explain in layman terms with real world examples. Okay. So now I hope this will make some sense. Like, okay, this is what a framework is all about. And not only this, you find any word in which you find difficulty to understand, or you can also say what is Java. Explain as I am a uh, fifth grader. Yeah, I can say fifth grader. Hmm. See, it's more interesting when it comes to playing games and drawing pictures. Okay, so yeah, so this is how. What I request is, if something is not only API testing. I'm not talking about only API testing, as everyone uh, are in working in IT and trying to get into IT. Use ChatGPT or Copilot or Google Gemini, whichever you feel. I mean, all are same, all are almost same. Whichever you feel comfortable with, use them, use the prompts, and make sure that you get the information, you understand the information in your own way. Because at times for me, it might not be possible to explain in a more deeper way, but try from your end, and next day come and you can explain from your end. Okay, this is what, okay, this jargon, let's say libraries or libraries, yeah, I can go with libraries. Or if in Java, I think it's import, right? Import, we use import to uh, import the libraries, right?
Yeah.
Huh. So what is import? What is import in Java? So yeah, you can come with these things, okay? And what is the so why exactly it is used, and all these things you can come and you can share your information. This is how you will get to know things. You will share your you share your knowledge, and it will really help you in interviews, and also when you're working with real world. I mean, not a real, there's nothing called as real world projects when you're working with projects. When you're working with projects. So make use of it, because earlier days it was really tough to read out the complete PDF or books, and one book might be. Uh, I can give an example. I'm not sure. Has anyone seen Three Idiots? Three Idiots movie?
Yes. I
Yes.
think all have seen.
Okay. In that, Nadia, did you see that movie Three Idiots? I'm pretty not sure.
No, no, I'm not interested in movies at all.
Okay, no worries. Okay, in that, what happens? I'll explain you. Okay, the lecturer asked, "What is a machine?" Okay, what is a machine? Is asked by a lecturer to one of the student. He's a so that student explains the lecturer in a more theoretical way, more I mean, every jargon is used in that complete explanation. So there will be another person who will be explaining in a simpler way, in a more simpler way, so that everyone can understand. So the lecturer says that, okay, that is not an explanation, that is not a definition. What the first person said, that is the definition. But the second person who explains in a more simpler way, he says that we cannot go with one book. We cannot go with one book. We have to go with multiple books, where some of the books have explained you in a more simpler way to understand. That is what earlier stages, earlier when there was no AI, ChatGPT, these things, I mean, people used to work hard in order to explain things. But now, luckily, we are in ChatGPT generation. So please use ChatGPT at the most, because every bit of information is dumped into this ChatGPT, all these tools. So you can get more deeper, more simpler way of explanation. You can get it in that way. I just gave that example because I just clicked it. It just clicked my mind. So I hope the ones who have seen Three Idiots might get relate to it. So yeah, so use
Yes.
it. Use this ChatGPT thing and get your jargons or framework. I know many are getting are working on framework. So this thing will really, do not paste your code. Do not paste your code. Do not paste your code at the first instance. First understand where exactly you are getting trouble. Then paste your code. If you're finding any error after trying multiple attempts, then you will definitely be a pro. You will definitely be a pro, and you can work on any project in future. There will be no problems at all. Use ChatGPT as much as you can, and yeah, you'll definitely get really easy when you're working. I think it's 2 hours more. Okay, so which okay till here now. Session 5. Is it clear till session 5?
Oh, yes.
Everyone?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, there's a strong yes, so I'm really happy. So tomorrow we will be continuing with the same. I mean 6, 7, 8, and then once we are done with 6, 7, 8, still still, if you find any difficulty, any questions till session 5, please do ping me. But before that, before pinging me, and I think Akash asked me, right, what is stateful and stateless thing? Was it Akash?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I'll research from my end, and also I'll research what is REST representational state transfer thing. I request you also do it from your end. Use
Yes,
ChatGPT and see how far can you get, how simpler way you can explain me. Okay.
yes, yes,
I
yes,
think this
absolutely.
will be really interesting. Yeah. So please do that. And yeah, anyone having any trouble with the jargons, please try researching them in ChatGPT. See how simpler can it get. If you still having trouble, then yeah, you can approach me. Then I will try to find answers from my end. Okay. Hopefully, uh, hopefully we are good till session 5 documentation. So yeah, then sorry. Okay, then sorry, took real long time today to ask. So fine. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you for the
Thank you.
Thank you,
explanation.
Ashish.
Yeah.